welcome back to the shop. I'm Model T. Got Paul Shinn here, my hubby.
I forgot to bring my gloves.
Ruh-roh. We got a little heater right there, but
right.
I don't know if it's doing a whole lot
I'll keep
of
my
good.
hands on my armpits.
Anyways, he's going to answer some questions for you guys, right?
Yeah.
I like to make him do it on the fly. So,
It's always a
Let's answer.
surprise.
but he's pretty good at it. He's a good sport.
It's a lightning round.
So a little bit about what's going on around here. As some of you know, we've been communicating with a couple people. They've been asking us how we're doing in these parts of California where weather is kind of crazy. And yeah, unfortunately in our little parts here, we got some crazy weather. We've had a tornado touchdown nearby.
About 3 miles from here.
Yeah, about 3 miles from here, a little too close. But what we did get to have happen was the wind was absolutely insane. A major electrical weirdness going on in the sky, like over and over.
Yeah.
And major hail at the same time, major rain at the same time. It was pretty creepy. It was in the middle
Major
of the
rain.
night. Yeah. And luckily we are on top of a hill, so that
ridge.
helps. Well, ridge, yeah. We're all on the tops of ridges on our neighborhood here. And unfortunately down below in our town, a lot of people unfortunately are experiencing houses underneath the water, and that's very sad. We're praying for our community, a lot of people with major damage. So God willing, everybody got out safe and everything else. Some cars, trucks floating around in the water out there, and yeah, some businesses I'm sure got water in them also.
Yep, they did.
It was been pretty bad with our weather. Some of the high winds, not just from the tornado thing in the middle of the night.
Oh, the hurricanes.
Oh, the
Hurricane winds.
hurricanes. It's just awful.
Like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, so it's been ripping parts of our roof off the house.
We lost the whole roof off of our part storage building.
Yeah.
Whole roof.
It's metal, and the roof just like
Metal
peeled
building, the
back
roof
like
peeled
somebody
right off.
took a giant can opener to it.
Yeah. So right now the shop's pretty stuffed with stuff. You can't really see.
Yeah.
But trust me, there is a
all
lot of
filled in.
stuff all right. There was no filming going on in here except for this.
Yeah.
And you can see I'm like kind of stopped in the middle of putting a roof or a top on Gandalf because there's just no room to film anything in here. So yeah, we got a little storm damage to repair, but that's okay.
Been busy. Yeah, and so that hits another spot right there.
Yep.
Gandalf, he's getting a new top soon.
Also, we have new tires
Yeah,
and freshly powder coated wheels that are going to be going on this soon.
it's come
Then
exciting things
left,
coming.
top windshield,
Yeah,
drive it.
woohoo!
Yeah.
And clean the inside real good.
The inside's
Right?
pretty clean right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just got to finish the polish. You did the rubbing compound, but you never followed up with the polish.
So I'll be polishing it
You'll
soon.
be polishing it, and then it'll be slick, ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the fenders yet. I thought about rattle canning them like we did to the car in Roadworthy Rescues,
Yeah,
where Derek rattle canned it and then buffed it out and looked really good.
it actually did.
It looks really good.
I
I thought about doing that to this. That's what I think we're going to do, but I don't know. The weather, you need warm, dry weather to spray.
That's the last thing in the world we have.
I know, we don't have that. It's all flooded and
Yeah.
wet, very, very windy. You might hear a squeaking once in a while in the background, a high-pitched squeak. That is the wind blowing the vents on the shop building here. And the cars are okay, the shop's okay. The shop has not received any damage, but
It's
the
built
wind,
pretty tough.
there's one right there. The wind's just blowing all the, everything around. It's super windy.
Yeah, so just giving you kind of update what's happening in our lives.
well, we're fine.
Just to start out with, but welcome to Social Media Q&A. And we're going to get to answering some questions. One quick thing though, just to let you guys know, for those of you who have sent me messages on Facebook's Messenger, what I'm finding is usually if you are involved in that, you'll notice that when you get a message, the person it came from is, I'll call it lit up, but you know, it's bolder. It stands out and the other ones don't stand out like that. For some reason, a lot of people that sent messages that I never looked at, they're not lit up or anything. They're not bold. So I had no idea I was having messages sent that needed, you know, answering because of that.
Sorry.
So I've been going through one message after another. It's taking a while to get through all of them, but some of them I have added in today's questions, some of the newer ones, some of the older ones. So I'm hoping that we got to you guys in time so that we could help you get your Model A's on the road and get them fixed.
Hope so. And I just spent the last 6 hours going through emails.
Yeah.
I get about 100 emails a day. That's no joke.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, and they're nice people. I mean, this isn't all spammers or whatever. These are people, and I just can't get to them all. I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Especially like with the people that say, hey, here's my phone number. Call me. I want to ask you questions. I can't. There's no way.
No way.
There's no way.
And with the Model A Tech Questions.
Model A Tech
does
Questions
that
at gmail.com.
Separate from the amount of emails you're saying
That's
you're getting?
separate, yeah.
Oh, wow. So there's even more.
Yeah, that's why we ask if you have Model A technical questions or you got a question about tops or anything having to do with Model A, send it to modelatechquestions at gmail.com. Tina will put it on the screen right here.
And I'll put it in the
Because we have
below.
a team of people answering questions there.
They're smarty pants.
There's a lot of smart people on there, yes.
Yeah. They've been involved in Model A's from the day of dawn.
Oh, including the brand new Mafka technical director, Chet.
Hey.
Welcome,
Hi,
Chet. Chet's on there now, too. So
nice.
we got a whole gang of experts on there that will help you with your Model A.
Boy, it's come a long way. I love it.
It really has. It's tremendous. So when we first launched it, I remember that the reason we did it is because a lot of people were asking. I mean, I was getting, hundreds of emails a day, kind of like now, and I couldn't get to them all. And people say, well, why don't you just go to the web forums or whatever? And the problem is some people just don't want to post their question on a web forum. Either, they're afraid that, their people are going to make them feel stupid or whatever the reason.
Which they do sometimes.
Web forums are pretty rough places. It's like walking into a bar. I mean, it's like,
you got to have some tough skin sometimes.
I've been pretty beat up in the web forums myself, which is why I don't hang out there much. Although VFF is a little bit better than most.
Yeah.
But I still get beat up there too. So people just didn't want to post in the web forums. They wanted the more one-on-one. And the difference is, it's like, we get the question at least once a week, what kind of oil do you use in your Model A or something? And we don't say, well, go look at the thread back from 10 years ago. Yeah. We answer the question.
Yeah.
So what if you answer the question 100 times a month? So what?
Yeah.
It's okay, But a web forum will like beat you. What, don't you read? Versus we'll just answer the question and then thank them.
Yeah,
so,
thank you for making me feel like a moron.
Right, yeah.
And
so there you go. Another service brought to you by the Model A Ford Club of America.
Yeah, we want you to feel welcomed. We want you to feel like you're smarty pants too. You can be. It's just all about learning, right?
But everybody starts somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere.
All those web forum experts that tell you to go read the post from 10 years ago, they started somewhere too. Guess what? They asked questions that other people had asked too.
Yeah.
The difference is someone gave them an answer and wasn't a jerk to them.
Well, here's your first question.
Let's do this. Let's answer questions and let's not be jerks.
This is Ben Evans.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Oh, Ben Evans, a friend of the channel, by the way.
Yes.
Very nice.
We love you.
Very nice.
He is saying, hey, Tina, can you please put on the list for the next one to explain why some blocks are red and some are green?
Oh, engine blocks?
Yeah, engine blocks.
Green is the normal block color. Red is for the Canadian Model A's.
Is there blocks A?
A. Model
That's
A,
interesting. I did not know that.
Yep,
That's
Canadian
pretty cool.
red, orangish red.
So that's all the differences.
We had a Canadian Model A one time.
Yeah?
Remember that?
No, which one was it?
We bought it as a chassis. It was all messed up and pieced.
Oh,
We put it
okay.
together, and I forget who has it now.
I've seen so many.
Yeah. I forget who has. Oh, I think it's the new member of the club. What's his name? Because it was a pickup, I think. I don't know. We've had so many go. I don't know. Hey, Pepe.
Okay, hello. Thanks for your videos, comments, blah, blah, blah.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Definitely helping me grow his hobby.
Good.
And he has a 1932 door with a recent rebuild engine, new radiator, new distributor, new water pump. It starts and runs perfectly fine. After 15 minutes or so, it starts overheating. If you accelerate it, it will push lots of water from the radiator through the overflow tube.
Yep.
And we have tried everything we know, very little in fact, but nothing seems to work.
There's the clue right there. When he accelerates and it pushes water out,
Yeah,
head gasket.
head gasket.
Yeah, so sometimes you get lucky and you can just retorque it. Retorque the head, 55 foot-pounds is the recommended torque. But if the head's slightly warped, not quite level, maybe the top of the block needs to be decked or something, and there might be just a little bit. All you need is a little seepage, because you imagine the pressures. When the piston comes up, the spark ignites the air-fuel mixture, all the pressure that builds up that fast to push the piston down, some of that leaks out from the cylinder, and then it ends up going into the water jacket. So there's heat and there's pressure. And guess what heat and pressure do when it meets water? It's got to go somewhere. So 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying I mean, there's the 1 time out of 10 it's a cracked block or cracked head or something. But 9 times out of 10 it's just a leaky head gasket.
Wow.
Now, I remember, I forget which car it was. We had a problem with head gasket, and I went through like, I forget, 2 or 3 of those graphite head gaskets. So I finally just said, forget this, went back to copper.
Oh,
Because I
wow.
couldn't get it. Well, come to find out, the head was only off by 0.002. So we had Willie surface the head, and it was, he just kissed it, is all he had to do. And then we just put it back, and then it's been fine. So
Nice.
it doesn't take much.
Okay. Nice.
Thanks, Pepe.
Hopefully that helps. Hey, Todd.
Todd.
He says, Paul, I have a 1929 Roadster. What would be the original wiper, motor, vacuum, or electric? Thanks. I enjoy your videos.
I don't know, but I happen to have the judging standards right here.
Hey.
All right, let's look. I don't know. Let's find out.
Show and tell.
Yeah, I mean, you need the red book, but you
Yes.
want the judging
I'll
standards.
link the red book down below.
Yeah, you need the red book. You want
very
the judging standards.
Good book
And
to
the latest
have.
revision. Okay, so wiper. All right, so stand by while I look this up here.
1 moment later.
Oh, that's vacuum wipers, which we need to do the thing
We'll
on
also
rebuilding.
be doing a video on vacuum wipers soon,
We will.
too.
So, judging standards, page 20-2, 2016 revision. According to this, your 1929 Roadster had an electric wiper. And if you want to get super technical, it had a wiper made by the Heinz Electric Company. There you go. That's according to the judging standards.
Not just ketchup, but wipers too, huh?
Wipers, yep.
All right. Well, Todd, I hope that helps.
There you go, Todd.
Go get them.
Get them.
And Karen,
Hi, Karen.
hey, she says, my hubby has a 1931 Model A two-door, and he is wondering where he could get the original paint colors. I think they are elk point green and apple green for rims, and the other color is, how did you pronounce it?
Was it Kiwani Green?
Kiwani green, yeah.
Oh,
Because I was butchering the name.
let's consult the judging standards.
Hey, out comes the book again.
Okay, well, let's see here. Boomer glasses on. Okay, I know this because it's page 14-6. So he has a 32 door?
A 31.
Oh, 31 two-door.
Two-door,
Is it a
yes.
standard or deluxe?
It doesn't say.
Ah, okay.
Nope.
Well, the standard, that's the 55B, 55 Bravo.
Okay.
That, if it was Kiwani Green, it had an elk point green molding and reveals. And the pinstripe was apple green. A standard two-door would have had black wheels, unless the dealer painted them for them. Now, if it's a deluxe two-door, 55B, the Kiwani Green body would have been accompanied by the upper body belt molding and reveals of elk point green. The pinstripe and wheels would be apple green. That's on page 14-6 of the judging standards.
Nice.
You need the red book. You want the judging standards.
That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Judging standards is a great resource.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you, Mafka and Mark.
Yeah. All right, Les.
Hi, Les.
He says, after 2 years, I have decided to sell my 32 Roadster. What is the best way to go about this?
Probably Hemmings.
Yeah, Hemmings.com.
Yep.
Probably the best bet is to kind of get an idea of what the cars are going for and maybe kind of
Figure out where
take
yours
some.
is, you know, where it falls in there.
where it
and-
falls in there. Mafka.
well, that's a 32.
Mafka.
No, it's Mafka. Jay's McCord's not president anymore. No.
That's right.
Yeah. So
So do we get to say Mafka now?
we get to say Mafka again, the Model A Ford Club of America. In fact, I was just talking to Jay, was it earlier? No, it was just a few days ago.
Yeah.
We were on the Zoom call with the Tri-City
I
Model
remember
A's
that.
Club. And I got to heckle Jay. So Jay was on the call. He's supposed to be giving his, membership and, his spiel and all this. And so I was heckling him and I was saying things like, he's a real tough guy. My video was off. It was just my audio. He didn't know who it was. And I said, yeah, Jay's a real tough guy. A cobra snake bit Jay in the leg. And after 5 days of excruciating pain, the snake finally died. You know, it's like saying stuff like, Jay McCord's the only guy I know who can do a wheelie with a unicycle. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, everybody thought it was funny. And then after all, everybody was cracking up at Jay, you know, like Jay's like, who the heck? Then I turned the video on. He saw it was me. And he's like, it's you, you know. So, I mean, but I got official permission. It's Mafka now.
Yeah, because it's a Model A, not a Model
Right.
Okay, so
Anyway,
anyways.
Model A Ford Club of America, that's not a Model A. A 32 is technically either a Model B or the V8.
Oh, but what I was saying is not the Model A, you know, not the Club of America. I'm talking about the Facebook group page.
Oh.
Mafka has one for there, and there's tons of people from everywhere, you know, probably across the states easily. Don't know if it's from around the world, possibly.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of pick brains and say, this is what I've got, you know, what do you get, what do these usually sell for, you know, and there's lots of helpful people there too. So that might be a resource that you can use that would help a lot. All right, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick. Says, I inherited a 29 Model A Roadster from my late father. I'm sorry about your dad.
Sorry about your dad.
I'm so glad that you have it still, though.
Not sorry about the car, though. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's staying in the family.
Yep.
He says, I've done lots of work to it, motor and exterior. I installed an igniter instead of stock points. I thought it would work better because how much it has to sit in the garage not being used. I was wrong,
Yep.
LOL, he says. I'm going back to not stock, but modern points.
Okay.
My question is, I ordered the bottom plate of the modern plate, I think it says, with the, no. Oh, that darn arrow is in my way. Oh, wait, okay, I put it back here. Let's see. Okay, so he ordered the bottom plate of the modern points with the plate and arm that makes contact instead of the long wire,
the wireless
which I
plate.
have.
Okay.
Should I use the plate type or just use the modern point setup with the long wire from the bottom plate?
Okay, if the car sits a lot,
Yeah.
don't use the wireless upper plate. If you drive the car a lot, they're okay. They work fine. I put an upper plate in cars before, and you know what? They hold up. But the car has to be driven a lot. So the wireless upper plate, the two plates of the distributor, the bottom plate is where the wire attaches. So the ignition cable that comes in attaches. There's that point there that's insulated. That wire, normally in the stock setup, wire comes up to the points on the upper plate. The upper plate's the one that moves when you change the timing lever, okay?
Okay.
So what they do, because the wire can fatigue after a while, you know, you can only bend wire back and forth so many times.
True.
Which is why in the distributor rebuild video, I show how to use that Litz wire, which is a wire that has like a bazillion strands in it that's real tiny, so it's super flex, like spaghetti. It's like wet spaghetti. That stuff, you can bend it back and forth millions of times. Maybe not millions. But anyway, the issue is that the wire would fracture or whatever. People use the wrong wire. So the wireless plate has a tab, and I think it's brass, that just kind of sticks down and has a little bit of a bend on the end of it. Then there's a brass, big flat piece of sprung brass on the lower plate that it pushes against, and then it rubs on that brass. You get a little bit of corrosion in there, and it'll make the car run all kinds of crummy. I mean, weird things happen.
Jeez.
If a car sits a lot, that's probably going to get some kind of corrosion or something on the brass, and then it's going to act stupid. But if it's a car that gets driven a lot, you're going to be working that so much, it's probably going to stay clean. It's probably all right.
So sitting still, the other way is the better way.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
think.
Yeah. If the
Drive
car
it
gets
more.
driven a lot, though, the wireless is kind of a cool. It's kind of a cool setup. If done right, and the brass stays really springy and all that, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
Well, this is Essential Judge.
Hi. Hey, EJ.
I love it. This question here is referring to when we thought that floor mats were going out because
And then we got
of-
new
of-
information.
of a little bit of misinformation or
Yeah.
just not enough knowledge to what was going on. We found out that there was plenty of floor mats being made by other companies
Yeah.
and this and that. And so this person was kind of saying his own offering to what we were talking about. He says, what we're out of is fenders. And so we were trying to find out if there were fenders being made by any newer companies to replenish. So that's a really good question. I want to do some more investigating.
Rootlib might. They're the ones down like by Turlock.
What are they called?
Rootlib or something like that. Rootleib, I think. Something like
I'm definitely going to do more research
Yeah, let's
into that
find out.
one, just so that way we can find out, is there other companies that are actually making
I mean,
the
if we need
Fenders
fenders, we
family?
just go out there and we go through the pile and pick a fender and then
Yeah.
bring it in, sand it, paint it.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting thing to look into. So I'm going to do that. He says also we need stainless cowl bands, side glass garnish molds, and cowl lacing.
Oh, well, the
those
side
things?
glass garnish molds, last I heard, Steve had some at Bert's. He had them in stock. And I think Mike's has them right now, too.
Wow.
Man, as far as stainless
Stainless cowl bands.
cowl bands, we just go to Bob's and grab one off the shelf.
Is anybody making them
I don't
anymore? Like, can
know.
you order it from, like, Bert's?
I
And
don't know. I bet
Crotton's
somebody
and-
knows. Just put it in the comments down below if you
Yeah.
know.
And I'll do some more studying on those things also.
And Tina will give you a big heart for doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when I find out more information, I'll put it on the next Q&A.
there you go.
Yeah. And so we can find more, hopefully.
This
Instead of
is why
having
you should tell me the questions first.
Yeah, whatever. We've got quite the hard rain coming down
Yeah,
right
the
now.
rain's coming out, and it's windy.
Yeah, it's getting windier again.
Yep.
All right, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hey. He says, do you have any recommendations on what I can look for on mine for a bent frame? I do have the issue where the hood opening is greater than the lower. Okay, sorry. It has a continuing. So Paul had said to him, run a string along the top rail and check for straightness.
Top of the frame rail.
Okay. If bent, most auto collision places can straighten. So that was your answer to him on here anyways. So the question he said back to you is, can I do that with the cab and everything on?
Yeah, you can, if it's not bent much.
Yeah.
So the last time we had a bent frame car, I think Dave helped me with it. We chained the front and rear of the frame to the floor and then put a jack under the middle and just jacked it up until we got about the same amount of reverse bend, and then let the jack go and then measured it again with a string. Just kept doing that until we straightened it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, you could do it.
Wow.
Don't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's something you definitely don't want to be in a hurry
No,
on.
don't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
You will mess up, and once you mess up, you can't go back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it kind of
All
sucks.
right.
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
it warm, and then we bent it, and
All right. I hope that helps.
yeah. Then the car drove better, actually.
Oh,
It stopped
nice.
wandering after that.
And things lined up.
Yeah,
better on the
everything was
frame.
perfect after that. Yeah,
Cool.
the steering wheel was straight, didn't wander anymore.
Wow. Okay. So John.
Hi, John.
Hey. He says he has a 1929 four-door Model A. I also have a 1930 six-wheel. I think that's what he meant. I got from my brother when he passed away. I'm sorry to hear
Sorry
about
about
your
your brother.
brother. It is a Briggs body four-door. I am looking for a set of window garnish trim for this car.
Oh.
Can you help me out? I watch your videos and they are very good. I was wondering if the 31 has the same window trim.
Nope, different.
It is different.
It is different. No, you may not have the window garnish moldings off of my 29. Best bet, swap meets. Call up Steve Becker over at Bert's. He's got a lot of original parts over there too, and some body trim pieces still. They might be a little rusty. You just have to sand them down and paint them. But try there. He might be able to steer you the right way.
Okay, and if maybe Steve can't help you, he can direct you to somebody who might be able
Yeah,
to.
for sure.
I mean, all those people that are in that business, and they usually have a lot of connections.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that helps you, John.
Or Sammy down at Arizona Model A Parts,
Oh, okay.
because he's got a lot of parts like that too.
So I'll put both of those links down below also.
Sam Guthrie or Steve Becker.
Okay. Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
Hey. He says, my father recently handed down his 1931 Model A to me that was bought by great uncle back in 1949. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's close to being done. It's so cool to keep it in a family that long.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Doing a head gasket and some basic maintenance before getting it on the road. One thing I have a question about is if you have any knowledge of doing the vinyl roof. Aha. See that
Yeah.
vinyl hanging over the
See
windshield there?
Yeah.
It's coming to you very
That's
soon.
they're trying to get the rolls and stuff out of it, but it's
Yeah.
been so cold. On the next sunny day, I'll just drive the car, back the car out,
Yeah.
let the sun bake on it, and then Gandalf here will be getting a new vinyl top, and I'll show you how to do that.
So he'll be
the problem is, like, I put vinyl tops on 4 doors and 2 doors and a pickup and whatever, and you can do it like in a weekend, easy. But if you're making a video out of it, it's like 3 weeks.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh yeah, it takes 3 weeks to make a video.
It is harder to make a video on something.
Go set the
gotta
camera
keep
up, get the
changing
shot,
stuff.
lighting. Okay, now you
Oh
can
my
see
gosh.
me pound this one nail in. Okay, there, you got the shot. Now move to get the next shot. And then you got to repeat that 150 times.
Oh
you know?
my gosh.
Okay, now I got the shot. Now, okay, then you shut the camera off and you go bam, 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 and you get a bunch done. Then you got to stop with the next one. Okay, let's get this shot. Explain what I'm doing now. So everything takes way longer.
That's
when you make a
where
video.
sometimes where we make those little fast,
fast
video
motion,
things
the
where
Benny
like,
Hill montages.
Yeah, just so it's not taking forever to show what we're doing.
Except I wanted to use yakety sax, but then you get a copyright strike from YouTube. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yakety sax, look it up. That's the song.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's the song we're going to play at my funeral. Yes.
so special.
You think I'm kidding? I'm serious.
He's serious.
Dead serious. Yes.
It's
in writing.
I have specific orders.
Yes, play yakety sax at my funeral.
Okay, on to another subject. David.
Hi,
hey.
David.
He says, I have a 1931 Ford A new engine rebuild, maybe 2,000 miles on it 4 years ago, and a lot of blow by out the filter vent.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Filler
to you?
vent, yeah, okay.
Okay. And some oil come out too. Any thoughts on this one? It runs good though.
Well, you've got crankcase pressure there somehow. Either you've got combustion gases getting past the rings, or there could be a lot going on. But it sounds like, and I mean, when the motor was rebuilt, I've seen this happen one time.
Yeah.
The rings all, like they're a ring like this with a little gap. And what you're supposed to do when you put the rings on the pistons and the seal, you're supposed to alternate the gap. So the upper ring has the gap here, the lower ring has the gap here. I've seen them where they had the gap all in a line, and it'll do that.
Causes problems.
Oh yeah, you'll get all kinds of blow by, and
Maybe check out those rings.
or maybe the other possibility is the ring's never seated. So, I mean, to really troubleshoot this one, you kind of need to pull the head. Sorry,
Bummer.
pull the head, look down the cylinder, see if there's some cross hatching in the cylinder still. Now, here's what happens though. Sometimes people will rebuild, or like Derek calls it, the Craigslist rebuild, where they paint the motor and it looks pretty and they call it rebuild. And unfortunately, I mean, that happens a lot. So if you pull the head, you'll be able to tell better what's going on. Look for a lot of excess moisture, because oil also goes up, as well as down. But the combustion gas is going down. You'll see a lot of soot around the bottom of the bores, and you might not see cross hatching. Maybe they didn't prepare the cylinder bores correctly, or maybe, I mean, it could be that the cylinder bores are just worn out. So feel for a ridge at the top. So where the rings, when the pistons come up to top dead center, the rings are about that much below the top of the deck surface. And that's usually where you'll feel a little bit of a ridge if there's wear in the cylinders. If that's the case, they probably didn't change the pistons or rings or anything. That could be, you'd get a lot of blow by from that. Could be that it got water in there and got corrosion, and then it tore it off the cylinder welds. There could be a lot of things. You got to pull the head to really find out.
Pull the head, see what's going on.
Or
in
just
there.
drive it like you stole it till it quits. I mean,
Okay.
drive it like you know how to work on it.
Oh man.
Just drive it until the darn thing quits, and then worry about it.
Pull the head.
Pull the head. Or not.
All right, Fred.
Hi, Fred.
He says, I have a 1929 Sport. It is mountain brown.
Sport.
Maybe sports coupe.
Sport
maybe?
coupe. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to guess that's what he means. I mean,
Got it.
nothing else has the word sport in it, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's
My
mountain
bad.
brown. I have no idea where or how to get touch-up paint for the body and black for the fenders.
Well, auto
What do you think?
paint supply. I mean, around here we have Jerry's Paint, which is a it's kind of like a chain, but they supply automotive paints for the automotive industry. And you can go there and they've got this neat camera thing and they'll put it right up against the fender, or the door, hood, whatever you want to match. And this little electrical camera thing does some magic in there and it tells you what the paint colors,
Wow.
how much of what. They go mix it and they hand it to you and say, here it is, and it matches. So
Oh, that's cool.
a lot of places will do that.
So
But
maybe what I'll do is I'll put their link down below,
Jerry's Auto Paint.
give them a call, and say, hey, are you able to help me out? Or is there somebody that you know of in my area who has the same technology that I can take my stuff to get a matchup?
You could also just take a part of the car. I mean, I've taken the hood off of a Model A before to an auto paint shop and said, here, match this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. He also says, my window regulators are binding up on my restored 29 sports
Oh.
coupe. See, it is a sports coupe.
Okay, sport coupe.
I searched high and low on how to access and remove the door panels and lube the regulator with no luck. Do you have a video covering this or a location for instructions? So I don't, something, that darn arrow's in my way.
Panels are just nailed on. So there's a wood frame inside the metal door. And the panels on the inside, the interior panels, just nail on with little nails all the way around into the wood. So to get it all the way off, though, you have to take the handle that opens the door off. That's one screw. And then where the window crank is, push the interior in so that it exposes the shaft that the window crank is mounted on. And you'll see, if you rotate that around, a pin through there. So you just take a little punch, tap the pin out, and then the handle comes right off. You can take the whole door off, the whole door panel off. Get to the whole window regulator. As far as tightness in the channels might be worn, they might need to be replaced, or you just might have to tap it a little bit, which I've done. I'll take a block of wood that's narrow enough that fits in there and just tap with a hammer and just kind of bang them a little bit and shape them. It doesn't take much. Sometimes they're just a little tight.
Just a little tap.
Not
a
yeah,
big
don't
tap.
go, no, don't.
Little tap.
Don't do like Bob Gimron does. Just light taps, okay?
Take your gorilla hands
Yeah,
and pretend
yeah.
like they're little pansy hands.
Yeah, just tap, and just, work it a little bit until you feel that the channel is wide or pushed back, depending on where it's rubbing, and that's it. Yeah, just be careful.
Okay.
And you can do that with the glass still in. Just roll the window glass all the way down. You can work on the channels. It's actually better to do it that way, because then after you've done some work, you can roll it up and down and see if you've improved it or made it worse or whatever.
Okay. Well, hopefully that helps.
Don't
I
get
hope
your
that-
hammer anywhere near the glass.
Yeah. Okay, another Fred. Our
Hi,
last
Fred.
guy.
Last one?
Last one.
Wow, this just flew by.
Yeah. He says, I'm having problems with my light switch body. I have power on one wire, but the switch does not do anything thing. Does that make any sense to you?
Okay. Sounds like a switch isn't put together right. This might be a visual. Mind if I go grab a switch part?
Totally.
I got a couple
One
wiring
moment,
harnesses over
please,
here.
while he
Pardon
goes
me
and
while
grabs
I-
some show and tell stuff here.
Yeah, show and tell.
1 moment later. He's got one more question, so be prepared.
Oh, what is it?
I'm going to save it for you.
Don't save it.
I'm saving it.
You're going to get me, aren't you?
I'm going to get you.
Okay.
It's a gotcha.
So,
Okay.
this is one of the many wiring harnesses we have here. So this is what's inside the switch. This is called the wafer right here. And you'll see there's these contacts here. The piece that goes over these contacts has a little indentation that kind of slips into these little cups right here, and that's what makes the various contacts. Well, there is one main wire that brings power into this. That is normal. So if it's just one wire that has power, nothing else, don't freak out, that's okay. That piece that goes on here that's part of the light switch, that is what takes that power to the various places where it needs to go in here. So check that. Make sure it's making good contact. Sometimes that thing, it's held on to the end of the light switch rod by a little E-clip. So it pushes in, a spring holds tension, there's a clip that goes on the end. If that clip has fallen off, there's nothing really pushing against this as hard as it should to make contact. But anyway, that's the inside of a light switch, and I don't remember which one wire it is. I think it's that one right there, has the power on it all the time. And then the rest get their power from making contact with those buttons on there. And the center one's the horn. That much I know. Okay.
Nice.
So let me put this back.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so you ready for the last question he asked?
Okay, hit me.
Wants to know if you have an 800 number.
If I have an 800 number? Oh, gosh.
We're not that big.
Pay for your own phone call. No, actually, I don't have time to, like I said, before, and sometimes people will send me an email and say, here's my cell phone number, call me, I want to ask you some questions. I can't.
We don't even have time for that, let alone an 800 number.
No, I work full time, plus.
That's 1-800, help me.
Help me. No, I don't. I'm sorry. And I don't really have time to talk on the phone anyway, as it is.
No time.
No, so no.
I wish
sorry.
that'd be a pretty fun job.
It would be a
Just
full-time
answering.
job.
It would be a full-time job for sure.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah. Thousands of people around the world. I mean, just per day.
We should get one of those, what
week?
is it, 976 or whatever numbers, where when they call it costs them per minute or something.
Oh, man.
Man, we'd be rolling in it.
I don't know. Maybe someday we could set something up.
We'd have that roof fixed like that.
Yeah, set up a little thing where, okay, you're going to be charged,
Yeah.
Something such and such price a minute, and
No,
go. What's your question?
We're just normal people.
Yeah.
No, we don't have. We're not superstars or whatever. We're just normal people. So no, we don't have.
We
one,
just
sorry.
look like one. Yeah,
You
right.
do, you do.
Not even.
I just look like a slob all the time. I don't care what I look like.
All right. Anything else you can think of?
You're lucky I comb my hair for this. No.
Yeah, okay. I can't think of anything else at the moment.
Guys, stay safe out there, okay?
Yes, I don't know what it's like in your parts, but I'm hoping that it's more under control than it is here. And if it's not, please stay safe. Drive safe on the roads when it's wet. Don't trust the traction on your tires. They're not always going to work, no matter what you do.
No.
Yeah, we watched a guy flip a truck the other day.
Yesterday, or day before
that was
yesterday.
Exciting. Thank God he
right in
wasn't
front of
hurt.
us.
Right in front of us. Thank God he
Rolled
it was
over.
before he got to us. So yeah, got out. Thank God he was okay, and he was able to admit how.
Tina, the healthcare professional, got
Yeah,
out
I
to
got out.
administrate. I got on the cell phone machine and
Yeah, I had to go assess
Called.
his body.
I got-
make sure.
I
you
got
know.
the cops rolling and the fire department
Yeah.
rolling. So
Yeah, so we got him some help, made sure he was okay, and he just felt stupid.
he just
for
looks like he
going-
felt stupid.
He admitted he felt very stupid for going
Going
just
too
too
fast.
fast for the conditions, and he just looked very pitiful. I felt
Life
bad.
lesson, right?
I wanted to give him a hug. I told him, you're going to make a lot more stupid decisions in your life, so don't be too hard on yourself.
He
Just
was all wet and muddy. You know.
yeah, poor guy. He ended up landing in a big ditch that was full of water.
yeah.
Luckily not upside down. Thank God he somehow landed back on his tires and in the ditch. So he was very muddy.
Yeah.
And hanging his head low.
And he felt stupid.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, he knew he blew it.
He knew it. Yeah. So stay safe out there.
Don't
All
blow
right.
it.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we'll see you soon. Come back to you with more questions from everybody on social media. You can ask us questions on the Facebook parts, the Instagram parts,
You
YouTube
just got the second
parts.
base with me.
Ooh. So it's getting steamy in here, I guess. And
God, is that second or third base?
I don't remember.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
What if I touch your shoulder?
Maybe that's like
I don't
first
know.
base. That's the dugout. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I'm going to get written up at work.
Does anybody know?
I don't
Put it
know.
in the comments. What's first base? What's second base?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Okay. I guess
Wait,
it's
first
time.
base is holding hands, right? Or is that kissing? I can't remember.
I don't know.
For me, first base is when you bought for a change.
When I bought for a change?
Yeah. When we went out to dinner and you bought instead of me.
That was first base.
That's
for you?
first base, man. If your woman buys the food, first base.
That's
Yep.
funny. Anyways, I think we'll stop with the shenanigans here.
Yeah.
We've tortured you guys enough.
Oh, yeah.
I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Stay well.